What's up, everybody? Did you miss us? Did you forget about us? Because we're back. Yeah, we're going to recap or analyze, should I say, the finale of Spies, Lies, and Allies. Yes, that old season. Yeah, we're finally going to talk about it.
It's been like 2 months.
It feels like it. But yeah, sorry for the delay. Hashtag family visitation. Hashtag COVID.
Yeah.
Those are the two reasons why this analysis is so late.
It's been a whirlwind.
Yeah. Doesn't even feel like real life right now. Really doesn't. How you doing, Nick?
I was waiting, like, stop it. Like, ask me how I am. I'm doing good. There's like a lot of snow out there. Like maybe like, I don't know, 8 inches. It looks like a lot.
I'm jealous. It did snow here down south North Carolina. It snowed pretty heavily. None of it stuck, but it was a delight visually.
Yeah, and the whole like state shut down for like a week.
I'm sure. I've been under a rock for the last week with hashtag COVID, so I haven't really been paying attention to anything going on.
Why are we making it a hashtag? You're such an idiot.
Yeah.
How about that challenge?
Huh?
How about that challenge?
How about that final challenge? Let's get into it, because if we don't now, I don't think we'll ever. Where do we begin? Let's begin. Obviously, we go out of order here. CT and Casey won. Spoiler.
Yeah. We all got spoiled.
Yeah, so we tried watching the episode live together. It aired, and then she was on her way down here to visit us, and we're just gonna wait a week, not go on social medias, and not be spoiled. Watch it together, have a drinking game, have a grand time, right? That's the idea. Friggin', we make this plan, and I'm not even kidding, like 8 hours go by, and I get spoiled.
Same. But yeah. I pretended I didn't know, because I needed to just, yeah. It's fine.
It's fine.
I mean, not a big shocker. I'm pretty sure I predicted CT and Casey, like.
If somebody had a gun to my head and said, predict who wins Spies, Lies, and Allies, CT and Casey.
Yeah.
So yeah, we watched it live. We knew the ending, or we know who won pretty much, but we were just acting like we didn't. We were having fun. We were having a drinking game for each contestant in the final. But we realized that, yeah, this analysis is late. Sorry to the fans. We did have somebody who wanted us to go over some topics, and I thought maybe we just get it, talk about it right now.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Shout out to the fact that somebody wants to hear anything from us, like
this late. Yeah, especially. Isrock20, shout outs to you for commenting, and sorry for the delay again, but so they pointed out something they heard in an interview with Devin, after the wire puzzle, which was like kind of where this episode started, the final episode where they finish the wire puzzle and they create these 2 new teams, the purple and orange teams. Apparently Devin was on that pedestal, or, on his purple cell pedestal for like 30 minutes.
What?
I find that hard to believe, though. I mean, the wire puzzle did prove hard to execute, but 30 minutes?
I mean, I would. CT would be the only one that I wouldn't imagine it would take him that much longer. But else, is that the one where they all had the answer and like Nani had the answer?
That was like the country one. They had to build a puzzle that looked like USA and then put their countries there. Yeah. No, yeah, that was funny. But this Isrock also says that they switched the final format, apparently. So it was an individual they're going to take total times, of everybody's individual time, which I find hard because they split into 2 teams. So this is what Devin said, apparently. I wanted to find the interview, but I didn't find it. He said that, yeah, originally it was just going to take total times, but then after the elimination, that's when things changed, apparently. Then they were like, all right, we're going to scrap all the times and just do a final foot race, which, you know, we watched the final and we were kind of confused the whole time, to be honest. We were drunk and we blamed it on our drunkenness, but I think it was just a confusing final.
I probably should have it sober. I think you did, right?
I rewatched it sober, yeah.
Okay.
Things made more sense, of course.
Maybe. But my biggest hang up is like Nelson totally shit the bed on the swimming part. Like he got DQ'd. And that didn't affect the team. Like
no, the only way it affected the team was that he couldn't go down and get he couldn't memorize his symbols, so somebody else had to memorize his symbols, which isn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like times weren't like being taken account for. Like each checkpoint was like starting fresh.
Yeah.
Like almost didn't matter like how well you did in each checkpoint. It was like it didn't matter until the last one. And like I don't know, it was just weird.
It is almost like production was like, no, I don't like where this is going. Let's switch it up a little bit. I don't really like this. Maybe they did have the original plan of just taking overall times, but like I said, that's hard. Once they split into 2 teams, which they do at the beginning of this final episode, it's like, how can you measure total time when they're being individuals, then they're in teams, then they're in pairs? It's like, it was just too much going on for a total time kind of thing to take place. Overall, I think the final was lackluster. I think maybe it was an easy final. There was a lot of running up hills, which we saw. That was obviously difficult, but overall an easier final than most.
Yeah. Yeah. It was not great.
It wasn't. No, yeah, it sucked. Me, you, and our mother watched it together, and after it, we were just like, "What did we just watch?
Did we just watch a final?" That was like, yeah. Again, I mean, I say this every time this happens, but I need to see an eating portion.
Yeah.
That to me, like, that is such a big piece of the challenge, or at least it used to be, that they've been like slowly taking away. And not a fan of it. Like I want to see people eat like shark penis or whatever. Like I need to see this happen.
Want to see that? Okay. No, I do too. I do too.
For the sake of the challenge, yes. So that was one of my big complaints. And then it was just like a lot of running, like, which is, yeah, I know you need endurance, but it just felt like it was like puzzle run.
Yeah, and you think of the challenge, and yeah, puzzles are a big part of it, but I think they've taken this transition in the last few seasons where everything has a puzzle. Everything has a puzzle, has a safe that you have to unlock, has a puzzle that you have to complete, a slide puzzle. Everything has a puzzle, and I think that's their way of trying to equalize everything, maybe a little bit. But there's one winner for male and female, so why the need for a puzzle heavy checkpoint?
Maybe they're just trying to steer away from like the biggest, strongest person is gonna win, and which
it's never even been like that though.
I know, but maybe I'm just trying to think like, oh yeah, well that, like, if Rogan's here, like, yeah, Rogan's gonna win, he's the biggest, baddest, but they want to give a chance to people like Devin.
Yeah, but then the winners end up being the 2 powerhouses of the whole season, the most predictable winners, you know? So it's like they didn't do a good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, how do we talk about this final? do we go through the final?
I want to talk about like one thing from each checkpoint.
Yeah, so all right. Checkpoint 4, which was unravel that cube of like that cage with ropes all around it. They had to unravel it. And then go to swim down. get the symbol and decode it and unlock the safe from this like rope puzzle. And they pretty much finish that at the same time. Then they both have to run to the next checkpoint, and this is where Purple Cell struggles because Devin. And got to give kudos to Nani because Devin's a worse competitor than Nani when it comes to like endurance, at least.
Yeah. In this scenario.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, he didn't do great. But.
Yeah, Devin was slacking. My favorite quote maybe of the episode was CT was like, "You want me to hold your hand? What is this, kindergarten?" So.
Oh yeah.
That was funny.
I know. Like CT could be mean and it's still like charming.
Yeah. Yeah. Scuba Nelly DQs from that, but like you said, it didn't really mean anything.
It didn't really matter.
No, didn't really matter.
To me, like that's a huge deal. Like
yeah, when it was happening live, we were like, does Nelson get eliminated from the final?
Yeah, like that to me, that's a huge deal. Like if you can't complete a portion, like
granted, once again, we were drunk and I literally thought they were just swimming a body of ocean. I didn't even know they were diving when we were watching it live. I thought they were just swimming from one side to another. Then I rewatched it and it was like, oh, they're diving. Cool.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I can't swim, let alone dive. So I definitely have sympathy. But if I was on the challenge, you better believe I would like try to master that. I
swimming without a life jacket.
See, that's where I would panic. I totally get it. But quick plug on Nelly, like my man struggled.
Struggle city since that DQ on that swimming. Struggle city.
It was all downhill.
It was literally the ball they were pushing almost went all the way downhill because of him.
Yeah, if I was sober, I would have probably like almost cried and been heartbroken, but I was not sober, so it was just funny.
Yeah, yeah.
But like it was honestly like we like it. Like I like him and I wouldn't have minded seeing him win, but he didn't deserve to win. Like he wasn't he did well like all season, he did fine, but the way that he was performing in this final apart mentally and physically, like he just fell apart. And right off the bat, I was like, he's not going to win, and he doesn't deserve to win because he's just not performing well right now. Like,
yeah, every checkpoint after that, he seemed to shit the bed in one way or another. Checkpoint 5, well, he did excel. It was such like a roller coaster ride for Nelson because he did excel at some parts of this final. The running portions, he was a leader for his team.
Sure.
Even the puzzle, which we'll get to, the long square, the pointy square. He was the one with Casey who figured out that puzzle. Yeah, it took them a long time, a lot of trial and error. I'll acknowledge that, but he was the one trying to come up with the ideas. He was trying to be a leader on a leaderless team. So you got to give him credit. We do love Nelson, but things just did not work out for him in this final. Checkpoint 5 was to unwrap a missile from chains, carry the missile up a winding road, and then use that missile to solve a puzzle. So we're here. They have to, it's checkpoint 6. They have 12 missiles that are in the shape of one big square with 4 smaller squares inside of it.
I'm sorry, can you just elaborate on what a square is for me, please? Squares.
So a square goes like this.
All right.
Not like this. Not that. This is a triangle.
Can you show me a long square?
That would be a rectangle, Nelson.
Oh.
And that goes like this.
Okay. All right.
Got it, Nelly?
I get it now.
You got it?
No, I get it.
So they have to move 3 missiles in order to form 3 squares. So why not just make a long square? Why not make a pointy square? Triangles, rectangles, they're all just squares in one way or another.
This is the point. This was like, I don't know, felt like middle of the episode. Yeah. And at this point, the 3 of us were
like
drunk.
Yeah.
Like I might have been like 5 beers in because
Because Nani and Casey
this.
kept mentioning each other, so we kept having to drink.
We always do this with our drinking games. We're like, oh, we want to make sure there's enough things so we're not just like bored. And then we always add too many things and it's like a sip every 2 seconds. So by this point, we were like, yeah, a little drunk.
But not drunk enough to think Nelson was making sense.
No, but I was like, is it me?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, is it me? Like, what is happening? But no, it was Nelson. It wasn't me.
He looked so demoralized. He was like, guys, can we just try a triangle?
Don't you said you think you understand what he was doing?
I do, because he wanted to just make like a separate shape on the side and then have 3 squares over here, right? He just wanted to like, I don't know. That's what I thought he was trying to do.
I mean, 2 triangles makes a square. So was like, maybe he was thinking like.
Doubt it, but.
I don't know.
I just think he was trying to make 3 squares and then just have something on the side just there to help him make those 3 squares. I don't know if it's hard. It's hard to explain what I thought was going on in Ellie's head.
Can we just make a 1 long square?
They tried, I think. They tried.
That was wild.
So that happened. And then Team Purple gets there and completes it within moments. CT is just like, oh yeah, that goes there, this goes there. Yeah. Checkpoint 6, they have to push that round cage kind of down a path, which I think is a cool checkpoint. It's difficult. You have to be careful. You have to have like everybody securing it, because if it goes off road, then you might be shit out of luck. It could go all the way down a hill. Who knows how long that could take to get back up. And then we saw that happen with Nelson. Every checkpoint since his DQ of swimming, he has shit the bed somehow, and he wanted to make up some time in this portion, wanted to push it really hard and get to that finish line fast, but he just pushed it right off track and cost them probably at least like 10 minutes more.
Yeah, his focus was
just on the win, but like nothing about the journey to getting to the win. He was just like, we gotta win, we gotta go, win. And then they finish it, and Kyle has my second favorite quote of the episode, which was, they're just all sitting there like in silence, all 8 competitors, and Kyle just goes, stick puzzle was a bitch, wasn't it? Yeah, for you guys, yeah.
Oh, Kyle.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, no eating portion. We get to the portion where they have to sleep overnight, and they sleep in a cave. They have canned food. They have sleeping bags. It was fine.
It was like camping. Like,
yeah. I want to say, yeah, even double agents was harder because they had to switch, and like the 3rd place team had a worse sleeping arrangement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They go back and forth with like the sleeping arrangements on these finals. I feel like one final it's really hard. The next final they sleep like babies. The next final it's really hard. Like Total Madness. Some of them had to stand outside, but the other ones were just like in legit like a heated house with beds. Yeah. And I was like, what is happening?
Remember when they had them standing outside in the blizzard, and then production was like, oh my God, they're gonna die. We need to like bring them inside.
Yeah, I think that was Total Madness. And they were just sitting there forever.
Yeah.
But then the other guys were just in a bed. So then they wake up. Casey and Nani have this like romantic moment in the cave, and they're eating together, and then they wake up and have to face each other in elimination.
I cried. Like, I'm not gonna lie, my eyes got a little watery because it's so sad. Like, you could tell that most of the time, like relationships on the challenge, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, this is for money. Like, shut up. But like, they seem like they're gonna be together for a really long time. They seem like they really love and care for each other.
Yeah. If not, they're gonna be together. They're gonna mean so much for the rest. Like,
they like
have a relationship.
Yeah, like whatever it is, like it's right now you could tell it's real. It's not just like some challenge fling. Like it's just like real love. And to watch them both just like cry, knowing that one was sending the other home, it was like, it was really hard to watch.
Especially Casey, you know, she's very stoic. So for her to show emotions like that makes it feel way more real.
Yeah. And like the whispering to each other, like both were like trying to like let each other win.
Casey letting Nani win a round. You were so drunk, you were like, did Nani just win? I'm like, Casey let her win. Relax. Speaking of relationships, Isrock20 also wants us to talk about CT and DM's relationship and where it ranks. Let me see. Yeah, where it ranks all time. Isrock hopes we can discuss the best showmance on reality TV.
I'm gonna say Cam.
Yeah. So I mean, yes, CT and DM take the cake, right? But and then what we had who next? We had Car and Pauly.
Yeah. Don't even.
Yeah, I shouldn't have even said those people in the same sentence.
But wait, I have to like play a little double. CT and DM, the end of their story is the strongest in the, but it didn't start really great.
No,
so
it was.
He was kind of a dick.
He was a dick because his feelings were hurt because like she told him like she's not ready for the relationship.
Yeah,
and so he decided to
kind of like
her.
I'm looking at the relationship from a whole, from beginning to end. Of course, theirs is like the biggest of the challenge.
There's just like a polarizing aspect to it.
Yeah, but I would say Cam and Leroy's has been pure since the beginning. Nani and Casey's has been pure since the beginning. There was never like a toxic, like there was one season when Cam and Leroy weren't together and it was a little awkward, but it wasn't like mean or toxic or like, I don't know. So, and I just love Cam and Leroy. And I also don't remember all of the seasons with DM. Like I just remember the later seasons or like some of the earlier ones and then some of the later ones. I don't remember like the middle.
Yeah, so. Battle of the Exes 2 was her last season, and yeah, her and CT were doing really well. They weren't together or anything, but they were just like, it almost seems like they're doing so well and then something happens and they have to restart from the beginning. And that's kind of like what they did each season. They were just like restarting from the beginning each season. And that's why it was like really cool to see because like we just saw all these emotions within like a month grow so much again and again and again. And it's like they were magnets to each other. They couldn't get away from each other. It's like, you know, we know CT goes and that's his game, you know, flirting with the women, but it was different with DM.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I kind of have to agree with you. Cam and Leroy, if anyone's gonna come close, it's Cam and Leroy right now. All time.
Definitely not Jenna and Zach.
Yeah. Jordan and Tori, for a little second there, I was like, oh, okay. But we saw how it ended. Yeah.
I liked them together. I thought they were like, I don't know. I liked them together. Like they were both weirdos.
I think Tori thought she had life figured out, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm not ready for this." And then Fessy. But
the best of them.
But yeah, that's. And then also Isrock said that it doesn't look like CT is going to be on season 38. But if they do an X's for season 39, who could be his partner? And I was thinking this. I've been making some X's fantasy casts, and the only person I think I could put CT with is Laurel, and that's unfair. CT and Laurel on Rivals 2, or no, Rivals 1 had a little thing. Imagine that team together.
That would be.
That's just not fair.
Unfair.
Yeah, that's why you can't do it. You just can't do it.
No.
Even though they were X's, or I mean,
they are. Yeah.
In MTV terms, X's.
Yeah. You could like have a fling and be an X in MTV terms.
But yeah, that's CT's like only partner that I could think of.
Yeah. Those are all good questions. Wow.
Yeah.
Very thoughtful questions.
Yeah, mainly they wanted to hear our opinion about like the switching of the format and Devin being so far in the lead, which I think Devin probably.
If Devin was 30 minutes in the lead, he should have that should have impacted his entire time and placing of the final. 30 minutes in the lead. Like, okay, yeah, then he kind of sucked at running, but it didn't matter that he was 30 minutes in the lead. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's my biggest issue with the checkpoints. Just felt like it didn't matter how well you did in them. It didn't really affect the next one.
No, as long it just mattered where you finished, not when you finished. First, second, third, like the helicopter ride. First and second got the first helicopter ride. Second or third and fourth got the second helicopter ride. So yeah, time, it never seemed like time was important in this final. It was always just like checkpoint, 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 restart time, checkpoint, restart time. So that's unfortunate. I do like when there's like overall times. And also I do like when somebody finishes the cross, like the finish line feels like they're going to win. There was no really finish line in this final. It was the last leg of the race and they had to open a safe. Surprise. They had to open a safe with an explosion in the background.
Yeah, I mean, all of the like the gem and like the safe stuff, like it got like I get it. That's the theme, but like like it's a little bit redundant and it's making me feel like I'm watching the same episode over.
Especially the lingo they use where it's not balls that they're transferring, it's bombs, and it's not it's
I know it's just like how they have to like go along with this theme, but it definitely does get like a little like, all right, these really rare gems, purple and orange.
Yeah, that was so funny. Yeah. So the winners of this elimination, which the eliminations back me up, which was the first elimination we saw of the season way back when. Yeah, Kyle had to go against Nelson and Casey had to go against Nani. Casey, of course, winning, and Kyle, of course, winning. I mean, the guy outweighs Nelson by at least, I'd say, 20 to 40 pounds.
Yeah, I also think Nelson was defeated at this point. Like, you can just see it in his face.
One of the best moments though was when TJ gave Nelson a pep talk.
Yeah, that was like gave me like goosebumps. Like maybe that always happens, but they don't air it. You know what I mean? Maybe there's more human moments of TJ. Not that he's not like human, but like they kind of just keep him as the host. They don't really see him like having emotions towards the players.
There's probably moments where we don't see.
Yeah, but this was so cool to the pep talk that he gave him. Like, I think Nelson needed it.
Yeah, there's definitely moments you don't see, but there's also TJ's not the type of guy to just say things to say things. So when he says something, it means
he means it.
Yeah, so that's why it was really cool to see him just try to tell Nelson to keep his head up. He'll get that win eventually. It was a rough, emotional final for Nelson. The season itself was pretty smooth sailing for Nelson, so you got to give him kudos there, but then just shit fell apart in the final. And it sucks because he was like the number one contender behind CT.
Yeah.
He almost beat CT in the past, and this time he came up way short. But now the winners of this back me up elimination get to choose their partners for the last leg of the final. And I remember when they were like the last leg, we were like, it's over? We were like, what's happening? What? Okay. So the winner, Kyle chooses Tori. Casey doesn't want to be partnered with Kyle, so then they go off and choose their own partner. So Kyle chooses Tori. Casey chooses CT. And then Devin's with Emmy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Devin and Emmy are clearly the weakest team.
Yeah.
Kyle and Tori was a solid team. If it was Kyle and Tori against anybody else, literally anybody else besides CT and Casey, they would have probably won. They had a really good shot.
And I'm pretty sure they got
only like seconds.
Yeah, it was only seconds. I'm pretty sure Kyle and Tori got down to the decoding station first because Casey has a fear of running downhill when it's really rocky, and we saw her take her sweet time. So Tori and Kyle definitely had it in their hands. They just failed the code a couple times, and so did CT and Casey. I think they failed the code once, maybe twice, and then they got it. I don't like how it could come down to just seconds like that all of a sudden when there was so much final that we saw ran.
Yeah, it's like nothing that happened previously mattered.
Yeah, I want the whole final to be its own entity. I don't want it to be split up into these like little sections.
Yeah.
But yeah, CT and Casey win. They are the champions of Spies, Lies, and Allies. It's Casey's first win in 3 seasons. CT's 5th win. Oh yeah. Also, Isrock wants us to cover the legacy.
Oh yeah.
Who's the best? Is it between Bananas and CT? How does this change your opinion once CT gets his 5th championship in 2021? How does that affect the overall GOAT status of challengers?
I feel like I haven't seen Bananas in so long like do anything.
Well, I mean, he hasn't been on a season since he won last.
He's coming back next season.
He's talking about coming back because CT's getting close. CT surpassed him in overall money won, I'm pretty sure.
But that's because a lot of CT's wins were later when there was more money.
And
so
you could argue that these seasons that CT won later in the show's history are more difficult to win.
Yeah. Yep. So more money, but a little bit harder. So
yeah. So before this, if when CT had 4, I was strictly Bananas the GOAT still.
I don't know. I'm leaning CT because it doesn't matter what you've done. It matters what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Like,
so right now with CT at 5, if anything, it's tied. I know Bananas has 7. 7 is greater than 5, but we talked about when the championships happened, the type of competition. There was a lot of competition here. Yeah, they didn't make it to the final, but there was still a lot of competition in the season.
I think we just need CT and Bananas on a upcoming season to settle it.
There should be like a season where they're both captains of their own teams. It's like the GOAT, the GOAT versus the GOAT.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'd say it's like tied right now. It's really hard to give one person the edge over the other. They have both laid out great framework for the season, and I can't choose one or the other. I like CT more, but I don't want my bias to get in the way of that decision.
I know. I'm like, I like CT more, so I just want to say CT.
Yeah.
So.
It's funny, but yeah, Bananas talks about CT on like every episode, and then CT finally responded and was like, but I think Mom actually brought this up to us and was like, CT was like, Bananas just wants to bring up my name so people start to target me in future seasons.
Yeah, he's right.
It's true.
Yeah.
I guess we could talk about, the biggest, what MTV and what social media is playing out to be the biggest moment from the final, which was the ability to split the money with 2nd and 3rd.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I predicted what I thought would be like the right thing or like the cool thing to do, and they did exactly what I said.
Yeah. At the time, I was like, no way they're giving any money to 2nd and 3rd. Like, just take the money and run.
Yeah, but think about it. You have Nani, Casey's connection with Nani, CT's connection with Emmy, and Devin. Like, I feel like they were all a lot of friends in the end. So, and CT's smart. Like, it was obviously his decision, not Casey's. Like, Casey probably would have done whatever CT said. So I'm credit here. He's smart. Like, look at what it did to Banana's reputation. That has like carried.
Look at what it did to Ashley's.
Yep. So CT doing this.
No, it's a little different.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Not
but
stealing
still,
from
like,
your partner. It's deciding to share with the 2nd and 3rd.
No, but it feels the same. You're still not getting anything, so it almost feels like it was stolen from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made totally the right call. Like, throwing a bone, it's still a big chunk of money. Like, it's like instead of 0, you're getting what they got, like 10 grand, or
they got 100 grand each, which 50 grand.
50 grand.
Taxes.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah. So yeah, it was super cool, super generous, and I think it will be really good for, they're both coming back. We're going to see both of them, you know? So I think it's great for their game. Like,
Yeah. I don't know
people are
where
gonna trust
Isrock
him.
heard that CT was not planning on being on the next season. It makes sense, I guess. CT is just won 2 in a row. Maybe he wants to relax with his family a
Yeah,
little.
he has a little guy at home.
Yeah. So I hope it's only a 1-season break. But honestly, if he retires, I mean, he's a legend. So
Shit.
I wanted to bring up one more thing. Or not.
Okay, cool.
Damn it, what was it?
No.
God, I'm drawing a blank. Oh God. All right, well, yeah, that wraps it up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Sorry for the delay. All Stars 2 is about to finish. That's going well. Won't spoil anything because I know you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, that's good. You can binge watch the whole season.
Yeah.
Don't know. Haven't heard anything about season 38. Please tell us if there's any news about season 38. The last thing I heard was they're going to film in March. Ouch. But they're probably having some other spinoff in All-Star season 3. But yeah, thanks for watching along for the entire season as we analyzed each episode in depth. So we appreciate you guys being here along for the ride. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the comments, the likes, the subscribes. And we plan on uploading more content in the future. Definitely more recaps once the next season starts. And other than that, just other content, random challenge content I will be uploading. But yeah, other than that, peace.